Hey everyone, welcome back to Care Fiction. I'm your host Subhankar. Have you seen Sinister? If you haven't and didn't know about the movie, Sinister is a 2012 horror movie directed by Scott Derrickson. I liked the movie and I think its execution of horror elements was quite effective. My favorite thing is the entity that it features, Bughuul. According to the movie lore, Bughuul is an ancient pagan deity that feeds on the souls of children. He would manipulate their lives, have them kill their families, record the killings, and then devour their souls. That is some dark stuff. Well, I have already spoiled a lot, so let's not talk more about Bughuul, but the ancient deity that he was inspired from. Bughuul was inspired by an ancient Canaanite deity called Moloch, Molech, or Molech. You may be asking, what does Canaanite mean? Let me explain. We do a little time travel back to 2nd millennium BC. That is 2000 to 1001 BC. In the region of ancient Near East, there existed a civilization known as Canaan. The region called Near East roughly corresponds to modern Middle East. That is, it included Mesopotamia, ancient Egypt and Iran, parts of Armenia, the Arabian Peninsula, and more areas. The people belonging to this civilization, also called Canaanites, spoke Semitic languages, that is Arabic, Hebrew, Phoenician, which is an extinct language, etc. This Canaanite religion is polytheistic, meaning worshipping multiple deities, and also sometimes monolatristic, meaning believing in many but worshipping only one single deity. Thus they have a whole pantheon of deities or gods, and one of them is Moloch. Moloch's name is believed to have been derived from the Hebrew word mulk, which means king or to rule. Among the Canaanites, he is depicted as the god of fire, and since the medieval period, he is portrayed with a bronze statue that has the body of a man with outstretched arms and the head of a bull. But things get darker when many accounts, like the Bible, associates Moloch with child sacrifice. Actually, the word mulk, from which his name is supposedly derived from, means sacrifice in the Punic language, which is a variety of the Phoenician language. While it still sounds grim, let's look at a few accounts of Moloch. In the Hebrew Bible or Tanakh, Tophet or Tophet is a location in Jerusalem in a place called Gehinnom, or presently the valley of Hinnom. Here the worshippers engaged in a twisted ritual that involves a bronze statue blazed with an internal fire. These worshippers would pass a child through the fire to be consumed as a sacrificial offering. The Bible condemned these sacrifices, and the Tophet was eventually destroyed by King Josiah of ancient Israel. There are still disagreements whether there was any child sacrifice involved or whether it was offered to Moloch or Yahweh, who was the national god of ancient Israel. Some Greek and Roman authors also mentioned that child sacrifice was practiced as part of the religion by the Carthaginians, also known as the Western Phoenicians, hailing from ancient Carthage or modern-day Tunis. Although the veracity of these accounts are still debated, archaeological evidence has been found in the so-called Tophet of Salammbo in Carthage in 1921. Several stela were found in this vault, and it is believed that there are several urns of cremated and sacrificed children. However, many scholars argue that this Tophet was not associated with Moloch but with Baal Hammon, who is another god from the Canaanite religion, responsible for the fertility of vegetation and weather. Scholars believe that the Carthaginian child sacrifice was not so frequent, but only necessary during an especially bad drought. Now there are several theories that debate whether Moloch is a deity or a name for a form of sacrifice. Some connect him with similar deities like Mulk from Ugarit, an ancient port city in Syria. Then there is Malik from Mesopotamia, who was the god of the underworld. Some researchers also argue that these Carthaginians, or the other cults of Moloch, did not practice child sacrifice at all. Passing through fire is like a poetic term, a common feature found in religious texts that most likely referred to initiation rites that may have been painful but not deadly. Surprisingly, some mythologists also say that the mythical creature Minotaur is a Minoan adaptation of Moloch. You may have seen a Brazen Bull, probably in one of the Saw movies, which is the worst torture device that was built for King Phalaris in Sicily. Some sources say that the bronze idol of Moloch may have inspired it. So that was all about Moloch. Let me know if I have missed anything or correct me if I'm wrong anywhere. If you haven't seen Sinister yet, you should give it a try. Thank you for watching and see you soon.